My mother got upset that her boyfriend who tried to kill me is not invited to Christmas brunch. A little backstory: my mom has always put her love interest and relationships before her children. I have one older sister. My mother has been this way since I can remember. She has uprooted us from home to move to a new city for a man she loved who was married. Made me stay the night at boyfriend's houses that I was not comfortable at, and went as far as ditching my sister and in a foreign country in a hostel while she went off with a man she just meant for a one-night stand. She also slept with a guy I was seeing when I was around 17 or 18. Luckily, he was of legal age. You get the picture? The thing is, she is also incredibly intelligent, professional, built an amazing career for herself in academy, and can be very supportive and loving of both my sister and I. She's given us both so many opportunities in life as a single mother, so it feels terrible to even point out these issues I have with her. Cut to 2019, I'm now married with a wonderful husband. My sister has a long-term partner. Mother has been dating this young man. They both live overseas where she is currently working. Mother has told us of their turbulent relationship, and as always, we watch as the ship shifts to fate, the type of woman she thinks he will like. Like clockwork, we see her uproot her life, schedules everything to pursue his unhealthy relationship. She slowly but surely cuts us out of her life. It must be said that she has been physically, emotionally, and verbally abusive throughout my life, and this behavior has continued toward her partner. He also is abused toward her. My sister and I have gone through the emotions and tried to get her help, but she doesn't believe in mental illness, nor does she listen to anything we have to say. Our whole lives were spent trying to keep her stable, but now that we have our own lives, for our own mental stability, we have just left it to her. That's been a whole thing in itself. Cut to the pressing issue. 2 years ago, her boyfriend tried and threatened to kill myself, husband, my sister, her partner, and my mom in a drunken rage in the country they lived in at that time. He was charged with 5 counts of attempted murder, most traumatic moment of my life, still dealing with after effects, PTSD, anxiety, panic attacks, insomnia. Mother pleaded with the court to get him off charges, and they were dropped. She went back to him pretty quick. Now my mother and boyfriend are back in my home country. They are trying to build a life here, and Mother has stated she has moved back to work on relationships with my sister and I. Bullshit. The boyfriend sent a shitty 2-line email apology. Through therapy, I have decided to forgive them both and have worked on my relationship with my mom and even seen the boyfriend a few times. This took a long time. I get to this stage. My sister doesn't want to set eyes on the boyfriend and I 100% support her decision. She is still working on relationship with mom. Christmas is coming up and it's a tradition in our family to have a family brunch. Never missed a year except once when mom was stuck overseas due to COVID. So I call mom to chat about plans and she is now sicky that her boyfriend is not invited. He is not welcome at our home ever. I think that's a fair boundary. She has said things like, I can't keep choosing between you and my boyfriend. And how long is it gonna take? He did the thing over 2 years ago. And what does he have to do for you to accept him? Etc. So now I doubt she is going to come for Christmas. And I think this may be the last straw in our relationship. I have worked so hard on my own mental stability after all this sick, and I no longer want to be the second option for her, and I just don't know how I could live with myself if I cut her off, but I may have to. Edit. A couple of questions about how he got off on 5 attempted murder charges. To answer, I don't really know, but I left the country straight after the incident and went through the police process, which took about 2 days. We pressed charges at the station, then flew home from there. All info about the court process I got was through my mother. Looking back, I'm not sure how much of what she said is true. It must be said that the country this happened in is a tiny Pacific island that is well known for its shit policing and justice system. For example, it took 2 to 3 hours for the police to show up while I was screaming down on the phone that he was outside taunting us and trying to get in. Domestic violence is very common in this country and not a lot is done about it. There are also not a lot of police resources. My mother is also best friends with the chief of police wife. There was a language barrier too. I speak English and the home country speaks mostly broken English and their native language. At the time, I was too traumatized to pursue legal action and I stupidly trusted my mother to push for the charges, to stick instead of trying to get him off them. My opinion, she said, I can't keep choosing between you and the boyfriend. She just did. Time for you to walk away and remain healthy rather than getting sucked into this vicious cycle of toxic behavior. She's made her decision, now let her live with it. The second story is, am I wrong for using flashcards to explain to my brother and his wife why they can't bring the rainbow baby to my wedding? My fiancé and I are getting married. We have decided wedding's gonna be a child-free, no hate towards children, just to keep it more organized and contained. My brother Max and his wife have a 3-year-old son who everyone calls Miracle or Rainbow Baby. He came after several failed pregnancies that lasted for years. When they found out that my nephew was included in the no children rule, they tried to convince me to make an exception for him. Chris told me his son is a miracle baby and his presence at the wedding will bring blessings for me and my fiancé. I refused and said no, the wedding is child-free. His wife kept sending my fiancé pics of my nephew when he was months old. What that mean? I told them no and to stop. My brother told me this might cause a rift in our relationship. I again said no and explained that the wedding is child-free. He asked again and pointed out how his baby is different since he is a rainbow, a miracle baby. I again said no and explained that the wedding is child-free. They brought it up and they visited at my home and I knew they were not going to stop, so I had flashcards in advance with the phrase the wedding is child free period and pulled them out and started slowly shoving the flashcards one by one this order. The wedding with a sticker of bride and groom, is child with a sticker of baby, free with a sticker of banning sign, period with a huge block dot sticker. They both were stunned and I asked if they get it now and Max had lost his sick. His wife had already grabbed her stuff and walked out. Max called me an a-hole for doing this and said that I disrespected him, his wife and their son, who is my one and only nephew. He rushed out after we argued. My fiancé saw the whole thing and thought that it was funny, but my parents and Max all leave it beyond measure. They were telling everyone about the amount of disrespect and mockery I had displayed towards them, and I'm being told to fix it now. My opinion, well, I suppose you could have used hand puppets instead, but flashcards seem to have gotten the message across. It makes me insane how some parents think their little bundle of joy should be allowed anywhere, anywhen, anytime, and that no never applies to them. It's pretty clear they were going to run this horse right up to the altar.